He created one of the biggest companies in the world. Then he was fired from it. This is the story of Steve Jobs, an intermediate English lesson. First, we'll start with the vocabulary. First word is adopted, legally taken into a family as a child. If a child does not have parents, often they are adopted by another family member or another person. Garage, a building for cars, often linked to startups. A garage is where you park your car at night, a little building for your car, a little home for your car. Leadership, guiding a company or group. If you are the main person, if you are the leader of the group, you have leadership. Disappointed, sad because something went wrong. Oftentimes, things in our life do not go right. We go the way we do not want them to go, and we feel disappointed. Direction, a plan or future path. If you write out a plan for how you want your future to go, or a business for how you want your business to go, you have direction. You have a direction on your path. Innovation, new ideas or inventions. If you write out 100 ideas for your business, you have innovation. Resilience, ability to recover after difficulty. You can learn English if you have resilience when you run into difficult situations. Standards, the level of quality expected. It's always important to have high standards in life and how you're treated and how you treat yourself. Launch, to introduce a new product. When you have a new product that you want to give to new customers, you will launch the new product. Career, a long term working life. What you do for your job is your career. Let's start the story. Steve Jobs was born in San Francisco in 1955. He was adopted as a baby and grew up in California. From a young age, he loved technology and design. In 1976, Jobs started Apple with Steve Wozniak. They built computers in a garage. Soon, Apple became very successful. Jobs had big ideas and high standards. However, he often argued with other leaders. People said that he was brilliant but difficult. In 1985, Jobs lost power inside Apple. The company removed him from leadership. Many people thought his career was over. Although he was disappointed, Jobs did not quit. He started new companies, including Next, and helped grow Pixar. He continued creating new ideas. In 1997, Apple brought Jobs back. The company needed new direction. He helped create products that changed the world. Jobs helped launch the iPhone, iPod, and MacBook. He became a symbol of innovation and resilience. His story shows that failure can become a new beginning. I really love Steve Jobs' story. Let's do the comprehension check. How much of the story did we understand? Where was Steve Jobs born? Was he born in A, Texas, B, New York, C, San Francisco, or D, Seattle? C, San Francisco, and he grew up in California. San Francisco is in California. Where did Apple begin? Did it begin in a school, in a garage, in a bank, or in a factory? Apple was started in a garage. What happened to Jobs in 1985? Did he retire? Was he fired from Apple? Did he move to Europe? Or did he sell Pixar? B. He was fired from Apple. What do you think is the main lesson of the story? Success is always easy. Failure can lead to a comeback. Technology is dangerous. Or D. Money solves everything. This one is easy. Failure can lead to a comeback. All right, let's start learning some grammar. We're going to learn the grammar concept called reported speech. We use reported speech to tell what someone said without using their exact words. If we don't want to use a quote, we will say what they said instead. Instead of saying their exact words, we give the message of what they said. It's like this. If Steve Jobs said, "We must create great products," exactly, we can say reported speech by saying, Steve Jobs said that they had to create great products. Please notice that there are many common changes when this happens. The present often turns to the past, will becomes would, can becomes could, and this becomes that. This bottom one right here, you see this becomes that. Notice that this is what happened in the reported speech. Steve Jobs said that they had to create great products. That's not quite what's going on here. That what you're using for that is a is it's like a little linking word to signify that it is not direct speech. So it's not actually that this turns to that. What it does do is that we must create products switch to had to. Because must doesn't have a past tense verb, it changed to had to. So from changes from the present tense to the past tense because of or from verb agreement. Because Steve Jobs said this, the second verb in the sentence has to also become past tense. If the first verb is past tense, the second verb has to be past tense. Let's go ahead and do some exercises. So, first, we're going to change the sentence that is a quote into reported speech. First, Jobs said Apple will grow. Remember our rules. Present turns to past, will becomes would. So, what does that mean? Jobs said, and we have to remember our linking, our new word that we add in to indicate that we were using reported speech, that. So it would be Jobs said that Apple would grow. Instead of will grow, it's would grow. People said he is difficult. So we're going to add that, and we're going to change is to past tense. What is the past tense of is? Was. So it's going to be people said that he was difficult. Last but not least, Jobs said, I love design. How do we change this one to reported speech? If you said Jobs said that he loved the design, I got a typo here. This is supposed to be that. Jobs said that he loved the design. If you said that, then you would be correct. Let's go ahead and go on to exercise 2. Choose the correct answer. Jobs said Apple blank grow. So we know that will switches to would, so we know it's not going to be will. And grows doesn't make any sense because Jobs said Apple grows grow. That doesn't make any sense. So we know that the answer is going to have to be B. Apple would grow. Next one. People said he blank brilliant. So this one is a little bit difficult because this one's is we said that that will turn to would, but in this case it's going to be is. We know it can't be is, so it's going to have to be past tense. It's going to be was. People said he was brilliant. Last but not least, Jobs said he. Well, this one is very easy because if we look at the verb said, we know that the second verb is going to have to be past tense. It can't be loves, that's present tense, and it can't be loving because that's present progressive tense. It's going to have to be a loved. Jobs said he loved design. Steve Jobs' life shows that setbacks do not have to be the end. Sometimes failure creates a better opportunity. If you keep learning and creating, you can return stronger. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.